Welcome to Homefront Sit Rep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Homefront Sit Rep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome, everybody, to a Sunday edition of Homefront Sit Rep. I hope everybody had a great week, man. I tell you what, here in Kentucky, it's a fluctuation of temperatures up and down between, low 50s to the 30s. It wasn't a bad week working outside, playing in the dirt every day, so I can't complain. Got some exciting news coming up with some stuff coming on next year in March, I believe is when the dates are. We got Keeping It Country Live coming to Kentucky during the truck show. So with that being said, I'm going to bring Dave and Joe and Don up on stage. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Hey, Willis.
Everybody doing all right?
Doing good.
Awesome. So everybody do me a favor and introduce yourself. We'll start with Dave up top first, and then we'll work our way around. You're muted, Dave. Nope, I can't hear you. Hold on. What the hell is going on? Do. All right, try to talk now. No, what? Why can't I hear you guys? What the hell is going on here? All right, try to talk now. Don, you talk real quick. See if I can hear you.
I'm here, Willis.
I can hear you. I just can't hear Joe. All right, so you go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
All right, I'm Don Barbier. I'm one of the co-founders of the Roll Call Foundation here in Louisville and Dallas-Fort Worth. We're
Awesome.
a veterans nonprofit here in Kentucky and Texas.
Now, tell everybody a little bit about your backstory real quick.
24-year Air Force combat, 7 times Afghanistan, Iraq. Came home with all the ugly stuff that we all talk about. And a couple of years ago, I reached out to a friend of mine who is now one of my co-founders and told him I was just not going to be able to take it much any longer, and got in and started getting help. And then 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, we adopted a couple of horses that were retiring from the U.S. Army. And so we Major General Baxter and Major General Mario. And next thing we knew, the Roll Call Foundation had started. So 3 disabled veterans, 2 horses adopted from the Army, and 1 mission. That's to help everybody one day at a time.
Man, I love it. Let's see. Are you guys back?
They're still playing with chords.
Yeah, I see them. Dave, try to say something.
Right now.
There you go. I think.
Okay.
All right,
we get on 30 minutes. We get on 30 minutes early to avoid technical difficulties, and technical difficulties happen. But
It
anyway, so
always
I'm with
happens.
absolutely, absolutely lost power to our mixer there of all
That's not good.
things. Yeah. Okay. So I'm Dave Gore with Keeping It Country Live, and I've also been with Sons of Amvets for 10 years now.
I'm Joe Gardner, Sons Amvets, and a member of Keeping It Country Live, Sons Amvet Veteran Tribute.
Awesome, awesome. Now, you guys, what's up, Michael? How are you, sir? Now, you guys just recently had a concert down in Shreveport, right? On November 4th, I believe is the date.
We did at the historic Shreveport Municipal Auditorium, and that's the birthplace of the Louisiana Hayride, where folks like Elvis Presley got their start. The very stage so many music legends started on. And Louisiana Hayride started in 1948, ended in 1960 on its initial run. But so many legends came out of that. And so this was our second event with Keeping It Country Live. And this past event was a veterans tribute. So we're going to carry that on going forward.
Man, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you guys have partnered with the Amvets down in pretty much all over the country, nationwide, and you're taking these concerts from different towns. So what made you guys select Louisville as your next city to come to?
Well, okay.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Dave has got a habit of throwing things over the top on me. He'll bring me to a new place. It's all good. And then next thing you know, he blows my mind with what he's got in mind for us. And then we go somewhere else, and it's even bigger and bigger and better. He just likes keeping us guessing all the time.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love the idea of you guys coming to Kentucky and coming on here and talking about it. And I think it's going to be friggin' an amazing experience, honestly, to see it from both sides.
Yes, sir. Don Barbier, him and my wife had connected before we had even talked about our Kentucky show. And that's how we met Don, and things started rolling with Roll Call Foundation, was through my wife wanting to adopt a soldier. And that started another member of our family.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing how things just kind of develop, because Joe came to me last year and said he wanted to do some music and concert. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, we were working on already our second event at the Shreveport Municipal. And so we decided to partner up. And I don't know if he knew quite then just how big that was going to be.
No, I had no clue it was going to be that big.
But if you do something, you might as well do it big, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so it's just been amazing. I never really thought, because there's so much time and energy and effort goes into it. I never really thought about asking anybody else to take on that. But I could tell Joe's got the initiative and the drive and all that.
And I'm about as crazy as he is.
Yeah. It's hard to match my level of crazy. But getting back to your question about the Mid-America Trucking Show, I've been involved in that for, 10 years now. Yep. And we started going up there. Some truck driving friends of mine told me about it. So you got to come to MATS. I'm like, what's MATS? And they said it's the Mid-America Trucking Show. It's the world's largest trucking show. It's in Louisville at the Kentucky Expo Center. So I went with them to fill it out one year, and it just went from there. It started building and building from just us going out there and doing music at different booths and just socially interacting with everybody, to, in the last few years, we partnered up with Taxation Solutions out of Houston, and they have a big stage and booth and all right inside the main entrance there at the North Wing lobby. So as soon as you come into the main parking lot, it's right there at the main entrance, just to the right of Freedom Hall. And so we've got a stage set up in there, and right behind the stage, there's a booth with information and resources. And we decided this year to incorporate a veterans tribute and information table. So it goes hand in hand. Taxation Solution, Trucker Tax Tools, they'll be there with us too. But we want to have resources and information to help our veterans out and also keep the music going. So it's just a win-win for everybody.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love country music or music in general? I mean, there's a lot of veteran service organizations out there that focuses on bringing veterans and music together because of the healing purposes that it does have.
Exactly.
So yeah, it makes sense to do a concert or go to a truck show because veterans love trucks, and there's a lot of veteran truckers out there as well. So I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, I love it. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's been the best thing coming up to Louisville every year and getting to meet so many friends because they're not just fans of ours, they are friends, and we stay in touch with them throughout the year. It's so cool to see these folks every year in March at Mid America Trucking Show. And one of my core audiences is the professional drivers out there, the true blue truck drivers, and they really are passionate about their country and
oh yeah,
about helping out and our veterans and everything. All this goes hand in hand. And the
yeah,
Louisville community is just great. It was great this last year. I mean, this last week coming up,
Oh man.
and just spending time with everybody,
It
So
really was.
wasn't it though? I mean, the hospitality was great. It's centrally located in the country too, which is another plus
Yes.
that you have there in Louisville. So
And who would have known we had so many brothers and sisters we just hadn't met yet
that's right.
until this week.
That's right. And I think it's orchestrated from a higher power too, because
Yeah.
we haven't forced any of this stuff. It's timing. Timing is everything. We keep
right.
talking about that.
And if you force it, it's like you don't have no fun when you force it. When you have
You
to
don't.
force it.
Exactly.
And the good thing about, like you said, with Louisville, it is centrally located. There's a shit ton of veterans here too, in the city of Louisville and the surrounding counties, and it's just amazing to see the hospitality that we have when it comes to outsiders coming in.
She's fantastic.
Candace, I know you know this lady here, Miss Candace. She said
There
you
you
two
go.
are pretty awesome. So yeah, Candace is the Mission Barbecue Community Ambassador. If you don't know who she is, I know you two do, but I was talking about
Yes,
our
sir.
listeners out there. And what Mission Barbecue does for our community, just not veterans, but first responders and everything else that goes along with being a community ambassador. Candace is taken the reins over from Miss Jennifer Gilpin and has ran with it, and she's done an amazing job there at Mission Barbecue.
Well, like keeping it country live, Sons Amvets, the veteran tribute, it's about giving back. I mean, it's giving our veterans more, bringing awareness for more of their needs. There's just so much more that needs to happen for our veterans that's not happening yet. So every little thing anybody out there can do makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's it.
Yeah,
And there's room for everybody in this effort too.
Yes.
It's all about unifying everyone.
oh yeah,
There's so many groups out there kind of doing their own thing and everything else. And so if we can help unify and bring all that positive energy together, I mean, it just further nails this down and just sends
no,
it home,
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you 100% because, like you said, you hit it pretty much on the nail on the head there when you said there's a lot of veteran service organizations out there that only want to work with themselves. They don't want to, to partake in helping other veteran service organizations because they're afraid that if me as a veteran, I'm with this organization and I decide I need to go over here and see what this organization's about and see if they can help me better, then they get upset. And I'm like, no, you got to work together because your organization might not be the perfect fit for me.
Exactly.
This organization might fit me better. So, yeah.
Why not link all the organizations together? Then we've got a network. A veteran can get on there, find out who has the help he needs, and go straight to them. If we link each other together, I mean, there's nothing we can't do for them.
That's it. And everybody has their niche and their specialty too, which is a cool thing. Everybody has something different to bring to the table. So I always look at it. It's like in the music world. There's no competition, only collaboration. And we grow from that.
Yeah.
So, united we stand. So
exactly.
Yeah. And I've preached that many a times. I'm not affiliated with any service organization now. I used to be, but now I'm just doing this podcast. And what I do with this podcast is I focus on all the different 501c3s from around the country. And the reason I do that is because if I got a veteran that comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, I'm dealing with this or I'm dealing with that," I want to be able to help that veteran get connected with the people that I know. And that's the whole purpose of doing this podcast. And with what you guys are doing, keeping it country live. Yeah, see right here, Candace just says networking is key, and you are, and that's the whole purpose of doing this, is getting that information out there so people in Kentucky can know about what's going on in Florida, or people in Florida can know what's going on in Montana or Texas, so forth. And that's the whole reason behind this.
Yes.
And bringing you guys on and talking about what you guys are doing with keeping it country live and going, supporting the Amvets and the Sons of Amvets and everything that you guys
Foundation.
the Roll Call
We'll
Foundation.
support any of them.
Yeah. So Don is saying he's having some camera issues. He's losing his connection to his camera. So I told him to jump on his phone. So he'll be back up hopefully here shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, networking is key. And James Thornton, I showed you the video of his earlier before the podcast got started. His thing is, when he's dealing with other organizations, if he sees greed, he's going to take his toys and go home. He's not going to play around with that. And there's a lot of organizations out there that's all they care about is that mighty dollar. And I'm like James. If you're out there just for the greed, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, man. You need to kick bricks and get out of my face, because I'm not going to have anything to do with you. So
Exactly. Exactly.
So
that's the big thing about everybody that we've been dealing with. I mean, we got folks pulling money out of their pocket and investing time and resources and everything else, just untold amounts. And it's amazing. And it's really awesome to see everybody doing this and not wanting any type of validation for it, or not wanting any type. There's no self-seeking or any of that stuff. So it's a beautiful thing.
Hey, look, Dave works for Celery now. He really does.
I do. I'll show it to you. Hang on.
Hang on, man. He's got to show you something.
He works for some celery, huh?
We paid him today we had to square up with him today.
I got my bag here. Not only did I get my regular celery. I draw celery, and I'll have to get my pen and paper out. But I got my regular celery. They gave me a bonus this year, so I got my bonus celery too.
Yeah, we had to take care of our man, Dave.
That's right.
Did you get him some peanut butter and some raisins to go on it?
No,
maybe next year.
I forgot his ranch.
Maybe next year.
Hell.
Good enough, right?
Yeah, he's got to keep going a little longer. We'll get him ranch about midway through next year.
Nice. I love it.
So that's the closest thing to a salary we're going to get around here.
That's it.
So, but
so
just the satisfaction of helping folks, that's the main thing. And getting out there in the public eye. That's what we want to do. Oh, yeah, I paid cheesecake right there. And it's good cheesecake.
She does, Candace. Too. She really does. We thank you.
Yes.
Dave, I know we're waiting on Don a little bit, and it's changing the subject a little bit. You performed somewhere today that's very dear to all our hearts. Would you tell us a little bit about it?
We were at the Northeast Louisiana War Veterans Home, and in Monroe, Louisiana. So we're back home after traveling. But it's always good to go out there. We go out there once every couple of months or so, and the guys are just ready every time.
Yes.
And we had some variety too today. Not only did I perform, but Amy McGee was out there, and she's also a veteran. And then we had Emily Callender come over from Texas, from around Kilgore, Texas, and they came over today, and she sang. And then I had my good friend Grady Wheeler, known as Junior. He came out and sang too. So, we did that. And we had some dancers come out. The Louisiana Luna Chicks, they came out.
Yes, they did. They volunteered to come out more when we're there performing. And it was a blast.
It was good.
It really was. This was our way of giving them a Christmas a little bit early, but it was our way of giving them something for Christmas.
Well, that's awesome.
We had a local restaurant donate a whole bunch of food too, pork tenderloin and everything.
Underdogs here donated their whole lunch.
Yep.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys come up to Matt's in March, I believe is what, March 21st to the 23rd, you said.
That's it.
So are you going to have headliners or how's the concert going to work with you guys up here at the truck show?
We have a variety of independent artists, and they've been coming for several years with us now. So you never know who you're going to see, but we've got some great independent artists that'll provide a variety of different music. and mainly country music. But we've got also some professional drivers that'll join us. Taylor Barker is one of the professional drivers, and he'll perform there along with his band. And then, most of these are acoustic performances because, they're right up front there. And it's just raw and real, and you'll get to meet folks. But we got several folks. We got Charity Adams. She's been with us for several years now from Louisiana. She's living in Alabama and working over there now. She'll be coming up. Then we got Mike Hughes, another group member of Keep the Country Live. We have Anna Marie and her husband Lenny from around the Nashville area. And then Tommy Lee Crossland and Teresa Crossland. They're great songwriters, and they're coming up. And then we've got a friend of ours out of Illinois. She'll be there with us, Mickey Dunaway. So we've got a lot of different independent artists. And I think we're going to get Kevin Trees. He's going to come out. So he's going to come out and perform some too. And I think Emily Callender's going to perform. She's going to perform. So we've got some veteran performers that'll be out there.
And all these musicians are donating their time. They're traveling from all different parts of the country. Emily traveled from Texas today to be with the Veterans Home. But they just, all these musicians just love what they do and love our veterans, and they're donating their time just to come perform with us.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I know when we had our meeting over there at the Roll Call Foundation, I was talking about some of the local artists, coming up as well. I need to reach out to those guys and see if they would be willing to come up and donate their time as well. Or Shane Dawson, Megan Stout, and quite a few others. And I know we're going to have an after party over at the Roll Call Foundation. Is that's just 2 nights, right? Don, 2 nights?
We're going to do 2 nights here, Friday and Saturday night. And on Thursday night, we're going to be at Amvets Post 61 over on Smyrna Parkway.
Nice.
We will be doing it. We'll be spending time with our veteran Amvet family. And then anybody wants to come out. And then Friday and Saturday night, we'll be back here. Food trucks, food. We'll be going around and whatever it requires to have fun.
No, I hear you there. No, yeah. So after party afterwards, is there a certain time that you're going to do an after party there?
I think we're going to shoot for around 7 o'clock. I think that's pretty much when the show lets out down at the fairgrounds. That gives everybody time to go get cleaned up, change whatever they want to do, and then head on over here to the office.
What's up, Brad?
Well, something ain't nobody realized maybe yet, because I wasn't going to say nothing yet. But if you think about it, that's 6 shows in 3 days that these guys are going to be performing.
That's awesome.
So it's going to be one heck of a show.
So now they're going to be right out front. So you buy your tickets to get into the match show, and the concerts are free. They don't cost anything. Veterans can come up there, see whoever they want to see, go in, see the trucks, and do their thing. And then afterwards, now is it going to be invitation only to the after party, or is everybody invited?
Everybody's invited.
Awesome.
The bigger, the better.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. So I'm excited, man. Yeah, this is awesome. Don, what do you want to say out there to the people that are listening?
I just hope y'all will come out to the Kentucky Fairgrounds, get to know these 2 guys like we have. They are our brothers now, and we'll have Polly here too, so everybody keeps talking about Polly.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Polly's our queen. And so she'll be here. She missed the other day. But I think you're going to find out that everything we do is for the right reason. And it's all done with the servant's heart. And that's all we all try to do. And when we do that, I don't think it's kind of hard to mess that up if that's what you're doing it for.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, if you're doing it for the right reasons, you can't mess it up. And you hit it right there on nail on the head when you said servant's hearts. Because if you're a veteran, you got a servant's heart. That's you served your country, and then afterwards you lose that purpose, and then you find it again when you start doing VSOs and working with Amvets or American Legion or VFW, and for me, that it helped me with my PTS, my night terrors, is helping my brothers and sisters out there. And whether it was with a veteran service organization or listening to country music like these guys here, and just helping in general. And if you're not doing it for the right reason, then I said it earlier in the podcast, you need to get stepping. If you're doing it because you just want that money, man, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You need to get the hit break.
Between the three of us, on Dave and Joe and myself and my two co-founders, none of us take a salary. We have no overhead. So if we raise money for anything, it's already going back out for whatever we said it was for. And so that's why we do it. It's PTS is an ugly thing. I deal with it with my depression and anxiety. And if I can help other folks, I feel better. And so that's why we're so lucky to have all this together.
Hey, Don.
Yeah, brother.
What else do you do helping veterans? I heard me and you were talking this week, and you had a 80-something, a 70-something, several more that I don't know about. What else do you do on helping our veterans?
With the PACT Act of last year, we've been helping folks that are mostly seniors that are veterans, and they're veterans that were World War II, Korea, Vietnam. And we do come across one that's only in their 50s every once in a while, but most of them never filed for their disability claims. So we had a 75-year-old combat Vietnam veteran, combat pilot in here in the office at 3:30 this evening. We got a 94-year-old right now we're helping, a 98-year-old, 93-year-old, some 80s, and then the young ones are 70s. So in the last 2 weeks, we've had 26 we've reached out to us.
That is fantastic. How come they hadn't filed for their benefit yet?
A lot of them just feel like they're not going to get anything. That's what I keep getting told. I'm not going to get nothing. They're not going to give me the greenbacks is a big common one. The government ain't going to treat me right. The other day, I had a Vietnam veteran that said he was never going to get nothing. We applied for his, and he's already found out that he is getting disability. And
that's fantastic.
Awesome. He was down in Bowling Green, and he's been coming up here, and we've been helping him. And he's coming back up Wednesday. We're doing a ramp for a handicapped veteran that's been stuck in his house for the last 5 years. And we're building a ramp on the side of his house so he can get out. So it's always something. We're always just finding ways to help that one person, and it keeps happening. So
Don,
we don't have to worry about that one person too often.
Do you only help veterans in your area, or can they be from out of state?
We help them we had one in West Virginia the other day, one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and one in Illinois area, south of Chicago.
Oh,
so we're helping them from wherever they're at. We don't care where you live. We don't care what service you were in. When you raised your right hand, we were a band of brothers, and we like to pick on each other. So Jim, my co-founder, Jim Webb, is a Marine, and David's Army, and I'm Air Force. So they call me Chair Force One because they said I can fly a chair better than anybody.
Nice.
So, but in the end, we all love each other, and we do it for the right reason. And,
but let some civilian pick on us, and then we kick their ass.
Yeah, then they go and find out how many brothers and sisters we have.
Amen to that.
I'm glad I'm part of the family.
Yes, sir, definitely. So my buddy at the Rat Talk podcast, he says Marion County, Kentucky needs help bad. I am there once a month, and we need VSOs there badly. So reach out to the Roll Call Foundation.
The rollcallfoundation.org is our webpage, and we're on Facebook. You can reach us, and my name comes up pretty easy if you spell it right.
Yes, sir.
There ain't nobody else with it.
And then Michael Whitlatch said that's so cool. He's talking about what you guys do there, helping veterans and stuff. Little backstory on Michael. He's with the Patriot Guards out in Wheeling, West Virginia. He was trying to get a service dog through some of the bigger service organizations, and they're like, well, you'll have to wait to 2025. We started talking about it on this show, and then we thought we had him one lined out coming out of Utah. and something happened there, and then he just got a puppy donated to him. And they're getting ready to start doing training. Hopefully, I believe if they haven't already started, I think they're getting ready to start. So I'm excited about his process that he's going through. And then Mark Koning, which is with the Rat Talk, says he'll reach out to you Monday morning, Don.
Fantastic. 24/7, 365. We only take off from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m.
My phone's always on 24/7. So
Yeah.
Well, I just don't hear mine between those hours.
no, I hear you. Sometimes I don't hear them either, but if you leave me a voicemail, I will call you back as quickly as possible. So
yeah, we try to return phone calls within an hour.
now, question for you guys up top. When you have this concerts coming up, Keeping It Country Live, March 21st through the 23rd, how do you guys get proceeds from that, and where does those proceeds go to?
Well, so generally in the past, we've just put kind of like a tip jar out there. So most everybody, like what Joe said, is volunteered their time for this whole project.
Because technically the musicians don't get paid a dime for being there. Nothing.
That's it. So, really, it's just pretty much if anybody wants to chip anything from the tip jar to help out with expenses for the musicians and all. And most of the time, we offer something to the musicians, even from a tip jar. And they're like, here, just use it for, operation expenses,
Now the Sons and Roll Call and the Sons of Amvets from Kentucky, we had their state commander for the Sons there. He's volunteered. They will be there helping us. I'm going to tell you a little story if we got time.
You got plenty of time.
Work with Quest Tech Learning, which is a school that teaches kids on the autistic spectrum. They also have a nonprofit print shop called Quest Tech Spectrum, and they hire nothing but the kids from the school to work there. We have a Red Friday shirt, remember everyone deployed, a Soldier 22 a day prevention shirt. All our shirts are designed and printed by Quest Tech Spectrum. Keeping It Country Live gets their shirts from Quest Tech Spectrum. So any of our merchandise like that, bag stuff, will have their proceeds from those sales go to helping veterans in the community wherever we're at. Part of the proceeds from that show is going to go to Roll Call Foundation, Sons of Amvets of Kentucky, Sons of Amvets here in Louisiana. So that one little shirt covers a lot of ground.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much do those shirts normally run? So
they run between $20 and $25.
Nice.
$20 up to extra large, 2X to 4X. There's 25.
Nice.
We've got canvas totes. They're like $10 a bag, and the kids that make them are so proud of what they do, and it lets them become productive young men and women in today's society. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I love it. So if somebody wanted to be a sponsor, who would they reach out to be a sponsor for Keeping It Country Live? Who would they reach out to?
Me or Dave, either one.
Either one. You can go to our website, keepingitcountrylive.com. All the details are on there. And we have a recap from our recent concert in Shreveport, Louisiana. And we'll soon be updating that website too, with details for the Louisville show coming up in the next week or so. So we'll slowly be adding more information about 2024 in the next couple of weeks. But you can get to keepingitcountrylive.com, and we got the event page for the tribute show. What we want to do is, with these events that we're putting out there in the public, is bring people together once again. So when people come out, we'll have resources. If they have a question, we want to give them to somebody who has the answer. If we don't know immediately, we want to get them to somebody out there that can help them out and actually get them some help. So that's the beautiful thing about these events that we're putting on. Even if a veteran doesn't come out, somebody else might be at that concert and say, hey, look, these guys can help somebody else. So we found out, like with Matt's, the Mid-America Trucking Show, that immediately sometimes we don't get the response, but then months down the line, somebody will say, hey, I saw you in Louisville. I saw you in Matt's. And then some of the truck drivers out there spread the word. So it'll make its way back around. and it's all about that unity thing,
Exactly.
getting that relationship built with the folks that come out to the concert events. So the music is just kind of like one of those things that just draws people out, and then from there, we can help put people in touch with others, and just build that whole big family.
Right.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's for I love it. I love it. So yeah, if you want to donate, if you want to become a sponsor, go to keepingitcountrylive.com.
Yes.
Um, and you can click up in the upper right hand corner and you can contact Dave or Joe. Go to the Veterans Tribute pages where you want to go. And then you can reach out to Dave and Joe here. I will put their email information into the comments here in just a little bit. And then that way, if you want to reach out to them, you can. So yeah, definitely, man. I love it, man. I was trying to share.
We also have a commercial-free radio station, and people are like, "Well, how do you make money commercial-free?" I said, "Well, that's not the purpose. The purpose is to bring people to the website to just further unify everybody. So having a commercial-free radio station feed out there with real country music, featuring a lot of these independent artists that we have on the shows, it's kind of an attractive thing. So we do things like that, and just offer special little services. And we did at our concert, we had country legends, the Bellamy Brothers, and we had Ronnie McDowell, some big names like that. And we had them headline the show. Joel Sanye, another good friend of ours, we'll be working with. He's a big supporter of our veterans in the military. And so we want to have, some of the shows have some of these headliners, but for the most part, promote independent artists, because there's so many great independent artists out there that deserve to be heard, and they're willing to donate their time and their talents and everything to help out. So, I mean, if we could create this national network of talent and go to some of these Amvet posts and American Legion halls or wherever else that is needing some type of entertainment, we can go in there and help out from that.
Dave skipped something that was very important about our shows, especially the bigger ones. Dave, what about our ticket prices on our
we
events?
try to keep our tickets well in line and underneath what most concerts would go for.
Exactly.
So we try to keep it affordable for the public to go out there, bring their families out and get engaged. And sometimes doing that kind of almost encouraging operational loss to a degree as we continue to build this up. But over time, it'll catch on with folks. That's the thing.
How many concert tickets have you heard of here lately that you go to for $29?
None.
And see 20 artists on top of that.
Yeah, none. I mean, it's few and far between when you have the big festivals and stuff like that, where you can see multiple artists and only pay, I think minimum price maybe $100, depending on where you're at. So yeah, to have, when you have the standalone concerts like that and you're charging ticket prices of $29 so people can come see 20 different artists, man, that's freaking amazing. And like you said, Dave, you are going to take some operational loss at the beginning as you're building the brand, but once it catches on, like Michael Whitlatch here in Wheeling, West Virginia, said he wished he lived closer to Kentucky, to Louisville, so he can come to the show. Well, maybe Michael, we can get something set up in Wheeling, West Virginia,
exactly.
and that's post up there.
Wheeling was the home of the Wheeling Jamboree, which was kind of like the Louisiana Hayride. So you never can tell. We might do something in Wheeling sometimes.
Dave's got a famous saying. It's kind of we're kind of like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get when it opens up.
You just never know.
Okay, Forrest.
You just never know. But no, our ticket prices, like I say, we try to keep them in line. Also, the other cool thing is we're challenging people. If you can't make a concert, buy a ticket for a veteran. All right. And we did that. We had a lot of tickets donated this go around, where people went and purchased a ticket and sponsored a veteran to come out. And not only that, we had veterans saying, "Hey, I want to just buy a ticket." And we're like, "Well, look, if you're going to buy a ticket, we're going to give you a discount." So we did 25% off veteran discounts, veteran and military discounts. So most places do it for 10%, but we're doing 25% on that because we just want to go over and beyond as much as we can between the donated tickets and between the discounts and all. So
exactly. I mean, we're about giving back to our veterans in our community. We gave away gift bags. It was what, 6 T-shirts from the event and the bag. We gave 4 of those away. We just raffled them off at no charge.
Yeah.
Man,
And our long-term thought here too is if we get enough sponsors for some of these larger shows, offset the entire cost of the show, and be able to just say, hey, we got free tickets for all of our veterans coming in, and we can put on a big concert with some big names and everything else.
Exactly.
But,
oh man, so I got a question for you guys. I know you guys are country music. There are some comedians that are veterans. Eric Knowles being one from Article 13 comedy, Jamie Utley, who used to tour with Ralphie May and stuff back in the day, Brandon Johnson, who's a Marine Corps veteran out of South Carolina. They are putting together like comedy showcases, and they're going around to different Amvets posts, different American Legions. Have you guys thought about doing something, incorporating that kind of into your shows as well? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
That brings back the old like the old hee haw and everything else. So that's one of those things that me and Don Caldwell with our group. Don Caldwell was the reason why we're doing everything that we're doing. And want to say a big shout out to Don. He's in the hospital right now, and I'm sure he's probably either watching live or he'll go back and listen. But we want Don to know that we love him.
Yeah, Don.
Love him, and we're praying for a speedy recovery for him. But man, there's no greater fan of country music out there. And me and Don were talking here a while back about the comedy part. That could be a really cool thing that we could interject into our shows.
I got something.
Yeah.
Dave, how did Keeping It Country Live originate? That's something I know a lot of these people.
Well, okay. So this stems back way over 10 years ago. Well, like I said, Don Caldwell out of Illinois. He's right outside of Peoria, Illinois, and Washington. And he had an idea to start a Facebook group. And so all of this stuff started because someone who loved music and was passionate about music started a Facebook group. It was a friend of his that says, why don't you start a Facebook group? You love music so much, so why not start a group? So he did that. And then that goes to show you that it's nothing too small. Even something as simple as starting a Facebook group can lead to something big. And so if you have a passion, if you have a talent, share it with the world. And he's got a natural ability to just network with people like I've never seen before in my life.
And that one little thought he had has reached and connected so many thousands of people that nobody realizes how big it's gotten.
It's absolutely incredible. All this stuff that we're doing now, and that goes to show you how God can use one person and pull everybody together, And so a big shout out to our brother Don Caldwell over in Illinois. We've got a show coming up, Arthur, Illinois, out in Amish country. And Tony Jackson's going to be on that one. He's a Marine veteran, and he's coming out to be part of that show along with several others. But that's March 2nd. Yeah. But it's all because Don found the venue out there in Illinois too, Penn Station, which is a fantastic venue too. If y'all get a chance, come on out and see us March 2nd there. But that's another veterans tribute that we're doing.
And we will post what we've got for next year here shortly once we finish lining out some stuff. So y'all will be really amazed at what we've got going on next year.
Speaking of that, we're so on the website. I know you can go to the website, but is there anywhere else that's going to be posted, like where you're going to be showing up or where you're going?
Yeah, when we have an event, like a large event, like we had in Shreveport, it was on Ticketmaster. But most all of our events can be found on Eventbrite. We make an Eventbrite page, and it'll be on social media.
Sons Amvets page.
If you go to @Keeping It Country Live, you got the links to everything else. And then, like Joe said, the Sons Amvets,
Monroe, Louisiana.
Yep.
Nice.
And so we use social media. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we got TikTok, and all. So we're using all those different social media means. And
trying to nowadays. I mean,
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
to nowadays. It ain't like the old days, word of mouth and stuff like that. You gotta be out there on TikTok, Twitter, you name it, you gotta be on
Yeah.
it. So
And
yeah.
in our case, we even do printed media and all word of mouth too. So
Yeah.
you have to do it all. You can't neglect any of it. You have to.
No, you definitely can't. You definitely can't. So
We have a wide age group from young to old. So you never know who's going to be seeing what.
Exactly.
You got to hit it all.
yeah, I remember listening to the Bellamy Brothers. God, when I'm 45, so I remember listening to the Bellamy Brothers when I was 6, 7 years old, and then as I got a little bit older, listening to Ronnie McDowell, and
Mhm.
I grew up on the old country. I'm talking, Merle and Hank and Willie, and that's what I grew up on. So yeah, to see that, the Bellamy Brothers, and then Ronnie McDowell and everybody that was involved in the concert down in Shreveport, I was like, man, that's awesome. I love it. And then when I got the invite to come over to the meeting to meet you guys the other night, I was like, nope, I'm heading that way, because next year in Bullitt County, where I live, I've been trying to get some concerts. Look, there's my mom right there. She just posted. You sure did. Um, so I'm trying to get some concerts set up here in Bullitt County next year, and um, meeting you guys. I think there was a reason why I met you guys.
Yes.
So if me and you, we're going to talk offline, because, like I said, there's a few concerts that I want to get set up for next year. I've been talking with the mayor here in the city that I live in for Veterans Day, which would be a Monday, but I'm actually trying to do it on the 9th, which would be a Saturday. We're going to have a parade through Mount Washington, and then we're going to end with a concert at the amphitheater out here in Mount Washington they just built. And I think I've already got a headliner lined up for it, which would be the Dark Side of the Moon, which is a Pink Floyd tribute band. They only do 1 or 2 shows, maybe 3 a year now. That's how big they are.
Cool.
So yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. And then
Yeah.
have you guys come in as well, and talk about what you guys are doing, and charge people or whatever, and have the money go to the Roll Call Foundation or Dogs
Mhm.
Helping Heroes or one of the other local service organizations that is near and dear to my heart. So yeah, I think this is a start of a beautiful friendship. The other day when I met you, and I'm here to help you, support you guys any way I can. So anytime you guys want to come on and talk about a show that you got coming up, no matter what part of the country, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll bring you guys on, and we'll talk about it. So
That'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be great. Something else too. People say, "Aren't you scared that somebody else will take your idea and duplicate?" I said, "That's what we want.
Hope they do.
We want everybody to have the drive and the passion and the enthusiasm and take us all across the whole United States. And we want to help people that want to do that. We want to show them the whole process of how it's done.
mhm.
Because a lot of times people just don't know, where do you even begin when you put on a concert like that? And I guess the number one thing is you got to have the initiative and the drive and the
Yeah,
passion and everything. And you can't give up. You just got to be persistent on it,
yeah,
and you got to face a lot of negativity and everything else. There's a lot of financial challenges and that sort, but one thing about it is you got to remember that God's going to take care of you if you trust in him.
Yes.
yes,
Dave,
sir.
I got another question for you. Are your musicians just located down here in just a couple other states?
All over the United States.
So you got Keeping It Country Live musicians all over the United States.
All over the place, from sea to shining sea, and
I
all
love
points
it.
in between. And not only that, but I talked about our radio station. We have original programming DJs all throughout the week, and they're from all over the United States too, from Pennsylvania to Tennessee, and then we've got them in Texas and just all over the map. And so, and we've got another one coming out of Louisiana that's going to be coming on board. There's an announcement to be made here soon. He's got a big following. But yeah, so we've got on there personalities and all, people donating their time and the resources and all, and musicians, songwriters, artists, and all from all over the place. And
No, that's awesome.
it's not just Nashville, but we got a lot of them out of Texas and Florida and California and just everywhere. So, and that's what it's about. It's bringing everybody together, you know.
And it's like Dave said, these are just down to earth, good old boys and girls that believe in our veterans and country music. It's no big promoters, no big record labels, or
No,
nothing like that. It's just good old boys and girls back down to earth.
that's
You
it.
got the ones that are doing it for the right reason. They're doing it because
Yes,
they
sir.
love
Yep.
it, not because they want the money. So
Yes, sir. Couldn't be a part of it otherwise.
And if you go back to on our social media and you check out some of the things, it's funny. All this stuff just intertwines. You know, our love of country and our veterans and everything else. It all goes hand in hand.
Yes.
And it's just something that's come naturally with everybody. We,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, if you force things, you know, that's when you just let it happen like it's supposed to. That's when it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad to have been a part of all this over the
Man,
last
I
10
have it.
years.
I'm glad to be a part of it this year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a wild ride, though.
I
but it's
never knew 10 years ago when all of this first kind of started that it would lead to anything like this, you know. And it's just amazing to look at the future and say, well, where are we going to be next year and the year after that and all
Or
that.
the
So,
little effect, I was wanting to do an outdoor event free to the public just to
Yeah.
bring awareness to Amvets, was going to turn into this.
mhm,
yeah.
that's
So
it.
I meant to ask you earlier, Joe. So over the years, have you noticed the downtick in people that are joining the Amvets and VFWs? Have you noticed the downtick?
There's a bad downfall. It's mainly the older generation that's still members, and unfortunately, we're losing them. We need the younger generation. We need the younger veterans. We need the younger spouses. We need all of them to be a part of Amvets, VFW, Roll Call, any of the veteran organizations. We all need their help. You know, it's amazing what 10, 15 minutes a week could do. I mean, the more people you have, 10 or 15 minutes, man, that adds up to a lot of manpower.
Mhm,
It
Oh, yeah,
really
definitely.
does.
Yep. And there's no task too small.
No,
You know, if you want to help out, there's something we can find for you to do. And
it
what
touches you
we're
right
doing,
here.
yeah. And you're never truly happy in life until you're living your mission and your purpose. You know,
Yeah,
and that's
once
the
you
thing.
find that, yeah, I agree with you. Once you find your mission in life, your purpose, there's no better feeling
No,
Mhm.
than
there's not.
doing that. For me, when I got involved with the veteran service organizations, like I told you earlier, it helped me with my night tremors, my PTS, and stuff like that. And then when I went away from doing that, that stuff came back, and I'm like, how am I going to focus on helping veterans out there? And then I started this podcast, and I will tell you that this podcast has helped me out tremendously, just because, for one, I get to talk to different, service organizations from around the country. And then I get to hear veteran stories that are similar to mine. So for me, that helps. And then I get to be involved with like the Roll Call Foundation, or um, uh, Warrior Rounds, or Mission Six, or different organizations like that. Now, for me, and when it comes to AMVETS and VFW and American Legions, for me, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was a recovering alcoholic. I was drinking a fifth of whiskey a night, and Marine Corps said, "Nope, you're an alcoholic." I went through detox. For me, the perception of AMVETS, American Legions, VFWs, was all about the bar, the cantina that they have in there. And for me, I was like, no, I need to stay away from those areas, because that's something I'm not needed to focus on, because I know it's a slippery road that if I
Right.
did start drinking again, then it would be, a downfall to me, because then I'd get back into the same rut of drinking constantly. And fortunately, 20 years later, I can now drink one or two drinks and call it quits and say, all right, I'm done. I'm cutting myself off,
Right.
because I've grown up since then. So my mom put a comment out there. She said, I'm assuming she says, what's out there for veteran spouse. So my stepdad is a Army veteran who
Ladies
recently
Auxiliary.
Mhm.
The Amvets Ladies Auxiliary be perfect for her.
Sure would be.
It would be
There you go,
perfect.
Mom. If you're still
Yep.
on here, I don't know if she's still on here, but
I hope
I'll
she
be
is. If she needs any information, any help, get in touch. We'll be glad to help her.
awesome. No, yep, she's still there. So what he's saying, Mom, you can go to the Amvets post in Barstown and join the ladies auxiliary out there, and they can help you do all kinds of things. So
Yes, they
uh,
sure
yep.
can. And
And
I
all
know
you would
they'd
need,
love the support.
yeah, and all you would need is Timmy's DD214, I believe.
That's
Uh,
it.
that's all you would need. I think you still have a copy of that, Mom. So if not, we can find it. But yeah, reach out to the AMVETS. So the VFW has an auxiliary as well. I think they're called the Cooties, right? I believe that's what they're called, the Cooties.
I'm not sure.
AMVETS has auxiliary, the VFW, the American Legion. They all have auxiliaries that you can join. Um, and then Rat Talk just says DAV aux 2 is uh, if he's service connected. I don't know if he was service connected. I know he was in the military, but he died before he did anything with his VA. So, um, but yeah, anyway, no, man, I love it what you guys are doing with keeping it country live. I'm excited about the prospect of when you guys come up to Louisville, seeing what you guys are doing there, and then having fun with you guys at the after party, and just getting to know you guys and sharing what you guys do, and then what Don is going to come back on later. I forget when his episode is. We're going
Thursday night.
it, is it
Thursday night. I think
Is
it's
it Thursday night?
the 14th, whatever night that is.
Yeah. So December 14th. Yeah. So it'll be no, it ain't December 14th. Hold on.
Oh.
Um When did I set you up, Don? I don't know. I'll have to look. But anyway, I'll have the Roll Call Foundation back on. They're going to talk about strictly what the Roll Call Foundation does and how they're being involved with the community and stuff. So man, it's been a great show tonight. I want to thank you guys for coming on here. So before I let you go, is there anything you guys want to say to our listeners out there?
Everybody come to the after party in March at Roll Call Foundation.
That's
Give us that address there, Don, to the Roll Call Foundation.
We're in the Hillview Government Center at 283 Crestwood Lane, Louisville, 40229.
Don, we just gonna move the whole truck show over, okay?
Yep.
Come on over, brother. We got big parking lots everywhere.
Awesome.
I've been told if the weather's nice, we could even put we got an outdoor stage we could put up outdoors and put it out into a parking lot concert if we need to. So we'll see what the weather's doing by then and play it by ear.
Sounds fantastic.
So, yeah, we just want to help each other and find out ways. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't say what we help veterans. We also help seniors. We also help our kids with special needs. And so right now we're trying to we're helping raise money. One of our programs is called Ambucks. We have the Twin Spires Ambucks, and it's a adaptive bike for kids and veterans that can't ride a normal bike. And these bikes are custom designed by their occupational therapist or physical therapist. And for Christmas, we have 4 kids. They're 15, 13, 10, and 9 right here in the Louisville area. And these bikes can go to our veterans too. So it's veterans and kids with special needs. It's ramps, it's our bikes and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure everybody hears about that program. And we would just love to find out how people would like to need help. If you need help, just reach out. There's a good way we can help you. Well, so if your mom wants to come up here, her and Roll Call Gigi can do a lot of damage together, I'm sure.
Nice.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
All right. The Sons Amvets on July 4th started flags across the Twin Cities. And we started retiring the worn tattered flags without no charge to the property owner or the business. We had people that just were donating money for it. Well, it got to where we'd go to change one and they'd beat us to it. Then it's got to the point now, everybody's putting out flags that didn't have flags before. There's more and more flags flying. And at the municipal in November, the state SEC for Amvets stepped up and changed it to flags across Louisiana. This is something everybody needs to do. Our flag, you may have the right to do what you want to it, but it don't mean you should do just anything to it. Show it the respect it deserves and our veterans deserve. Change the war and tatter flags, replace them with a new one. If you're a nonprofit veteran organization or any organization, start this kind of thing in your hometown and look at what we could accomplish across the country.
Yeah, it's a real simple thing. They get on their bikes and do their rides, and if they see one, they'll go knock on the door. What they're doing in Louisiana is pretty amazing, and it's definitely
American-made flags with American products.
I love it.
Veteran-owned company.
It's definitely something that everybody should be copying.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for letting me add that in there. I really appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. And Dave, you said something earlier that I meant to comment on. You're talking about when you started doing the Keep It in Country Live, and somebody was like, are you worried that somebody's going to copy your ideal? And you said you wasn't. Well, the way I look at it, imitation is the best form of flattery.
Absolutely.
If somebody's going to copy your ideal, that's the best form of flattery out there. So why get upset if somebody's copying your ideal? Because if you're doing something that's working and they want to do something that's working, let them.
Yeah, that's how we look at it, because it only helps everybody. That's why we're doing what we're doing, is to make a difference, And so if you take that and multiply it, it's just going to make the difference even better, And what better reward do we get than to make a big impact, This is make the biggest impact we can possibly make. So if we get everybody copying and duplicating and spreading it out there, I mean, it's beyond the sky's the limit at that point. So let's keep it rolling,
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you guys jump off here, and I'm gonna wrap it up and have a good night. And hopefully my wife ain't gonna yell at me when I get done with this thing. But,
it's been a pleasure. Tell her I'm so sorry.
No,
just
you're
blame
good.
it on me. Tell her I'm long-winded.
I'll tell her to come black your other eye.
There you go.
I had to
it's
throw
great
it out
talking to everybody. Everybody have a great night.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. Thank you guys for coming on here and hanging out with me for the last hour. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you again soon, probably before March. I will see you guys.
Oh, yeah. Hey, God bless y'all.
Hey, God bless you too, my friend. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you. Y'all too.
All right, bye. All right, guys. Man, that was an awesome show. If you're in Louisville, Kentucky, or surrounding area, March 21st through the 23rd, come up to the Matt Show up there and see what's going on up there at the trucking show, and then come see the concerts that we're going to have out front with Keeping It Country Live. Man, I tell you what, that was an exciting show, what Dave and Joe are doing with Keeping It Country Live. I'm going to pay the bills real quick because I haven't done that today. So I got some sponsors out there. We got talenttalents.com. If you're in the music industry, check them out. And also Louisville Local Entertainment. You got to check these guys out.
Owner of Talon Talents here. And I just want to say that we are ecstatic to be a major sponsor of Homefront Sit Rep, a community that is ran by veterans and made for veterans. So thank you for tuning in. Talon Talents was formed in order to create a music scene that was together in the form of a collective, so that no one has to do everything on their own. And guess what? We've been doing this for free for over a year. So please go and check out Talon Talents through Facebook or through our official website at www.talontalents.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in to Homefront Sit Rep, a veteran-owned and operated.
My name's Rick Ames. I own Louisville Local Entertainment, a company for music shows, promotions, and bookings in the Louisville music scene. As a veteran, it's my honor to support and sponsor local veteran-owned businesses such as Homefront Sit Rep, made by veterans for veterans. So if you're in the music business and need some help booking or promoting a show for free, Look me up, Louisville Local Entertainment. And thanks for tuning in to Homefront Sit Rep.
All right, guys, I'm back. I just want to say thank you guys for coming on here and spending your Sunday nights with me and listening to what we got to say about veteran events and veterans and just hanging out with us. But other than that, if you need anything, reach out to me. Like I always say, stay safe out there, and I got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.